Hi guys, welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you're not. My name is Cora, and on this channel I'm documenting my financial journey as I work towards living my best life. If that sounds interesting to you, please keep watching. Today we're having a mid-paycheck check-in, kind of go through the expenses that I've had over half of my paycheck cycle. If you're new here, I am a semi-monthly paycheck budgeter, which means that I get paid twice a month. So my pay periods last approximately 15 days, but sometimes there are additional days. This one's going to cover January 16th through January 23rd. It's not too bad, but this is my expense tracker for it. So we'll go through it. And these worksheets are just worksheets that I created myself in Word to keep track of things in a way that makes sense to me. As part of personal finance, the way that you do things to help you succeed is going to be whatever way works for you. So hopefully you will take in some of what you need or get something out of this video that you can apply, and otherwise keep the rest. So let's get through it. One we'll go through, I keep two trackers. One is for credit cards and one is for what comes out of my checking account. The reason I do that is because, again, I owe everybody and their mama. But with the credit cards and new spending, I'm trying to use the credit cards wisely and pay back what I spend or account for them in my budget so I'm not overspending. In order to do that effectively, you have to keep track of it. First, let's go through the checking account expenses. Now, I do have a couple of checking accounts. I shouldn't say a couple. As you'll see, I have 6 checking accounts. Not all of them are used that frequently, but 5 of them are used pretty frequently. I just have different things coming out of those accounts. At this point, it's like muscle memory. So I'm not saying that this is something that you should do, but if you have a system that is working for you, you don't have to change it just because it's not the thing to do or not the trendy thing to do. So starting here. For my expense tracker, what works for me, a header's date account, so I can keep track of which account it came out of, description of business name, withdrawal, deposit, self-explanatory, account ending balance, category, and category total. Instead of using the highlighter method, I use different color pens because I like pens and just because it makes it a bit more fun. And then I have this column here that's called marked, and that is whether or not I track it in a software called Undeaded. I'll leave a link in the description. It's wonderful. This isn't sponsored. I've been using it, I think, for about 6 years. They have a free version. You can put in your debts. It'll compare methods and do a plan for you. You can play with plans and see how it is. It's a really wonderful tool. He keeps it up. I highly recommend even if you don't have a lot of debt like I do, but if you just want to see what the numbers are, how long it would take, he does trackers and amortizes things for you. Will send you an update if you would like. But again, Undeaded, try it out. I'll leave a link below. But anyway, going into what I've spent so far this week. All right, this will be quick. We started out with $3,092.96. That's just inflow, starting fresh. And I got paid, and I did get paid $3,055 for this paycheck. And then I closed out an pseudo investment account I had. It wasn't like with one of the larger houses or anything like that. I was just like, this is just something extra to keep track of, another place to put my money. So I closed that out. I had stopped making contributions to the account, wasn't keeping track of it. I do have an investment account where my Roth IRA is, and that's just part of simplifying. Again, like I mentioned with these checking accounts, I'll do more simplification, but you can only do what you can do at a time. Got paid on the 16th, and then on the 17th is when I started paying bills. Paid half of that personal loan for $175. Student loans. A quick note about that. So since my last video, the student loans, the past several years, student loans have been in flux. All of my student loans are federal loans. Subject to all of those, I was on the repay plan and then automatically got moved to the save plan. And then I have a borrower defense application. Was going for a student loan forgiveness in some way. All of that to say, you don't necessarily have to keep up or know what those things are. Ultimately, for the student loans, And on the Department of Education's student aid website, and they put in the expense tracker, what I saw was that the payments that I was making towards my student loan payments did not count as eligible payments towards paying my student loan balance. So we're just going to put the money that I would do over there into a high yield savings account until everything gets settled. Here quickly, it seems like I'll be making direct student loan payments again, but that's neither here nor there. More this month, $292 are put in towards the sinking fund. $56.96 on a credit card. There's $20 for the Roth IRA. I know some people say that you shouldn't invest anything or shouldn't save while you're paying down debt or having debt, but I do not subscribe to that philosophy because you just don't know what's going to happen. Credit card 11, 116.02. Half of my car note, which is $275, $391.02 on credit card 18. This was previous spending. I mentioned that I'm trying to keep new spending off of the credit cards, or at least pay it before the due date, so no interest is accruing, and I'm just working towards paying down those balances. $132 for credit card 3, $158.79 for credit card 5. Credit card 6 was $50. Credit card 19 was $147.72. $58.86. Now here I made a payment to the credit card and it's $58.86, but as you'll see, I actually tracked it as eating out, because if we look at my credit card tracker, this was for payments that I made here on these credit cards. I did them, get a couple bonus points, that kind of thing, and then I crossed them out as I account for it here. So this is why eating out was here. It's all those payments. I'm saving up for a new Apple Watch because mine needs battery service. But anyway, saving up for a new Apple Watch. Short answer, because I want to. So I hopefully do that by the end of this quarter. A nickel challenge, basically, you would save your nickels, but since I don't really use cash, I'm doing it virtually. So as a challenge to myself, I just put some funds over there. Credit card 16, $15.54 was actually for household purchases that I made. And then $446 was for the timeshare maintenance fees that I mentioned in another video, but basically they didn't send a bill last year but sent one this year, and it's $400.46. Long story short, that I end up needing to pay. Don't get a timeshare, don't do it. Paid my car and renter's insurance, $228.38. Credit card 4, paid $50 to that, and $26.23 for groceries. I paid off my Apple Pencil, which was $96.75. $175.82 came out on the 21st. That's an automatic payment that is drafted out of my account. And that was it. So leaving me with $42.10.09 over all of the checking accounts. And these are the categories. So I had $7,105.83 come in. I paid so far $1,768.12 for debt. I spent $26.23 so far in groceries, $228.38 in insurance, $446 obligations, $15.54 household, $30.15 for savings, $311.04 for seeking funds, $58.86 for eating out, $56.96 for medical. And that's just a way that I can keep track of what's going on. And then to briefly look at the credit card spending, 2 things unaccounted for on my checking account tracker. These are automatic payments. I have Aflac that comes out for $80.50 and $21.99 for my alarm. And so the only thing, next week I will make a payment to the credit card for that, and you will see that on the checking account expense tracker here, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll close out the paycheck. So that's all for this week. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. And again, personal finance is just that, personal. So do what works for you. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.